Hey everyone, well, thank you so much for joining us in today's webinar session for Why SaaS Backup. So I'm Parthiv, I am the new product manager for Arcserve from Soft Solutions, and I'm also joined by Jessa. So Jessa is the new sales engineer for Arcserve from Soft Solutions. So just letting you know, this webinar will be recorded. So if you would like a copy, let me know. Just type in the questions box so then I can send it over to you so you can share it with your team. But before I do get started on the webinar, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown on the history that Soft Solution has with Arcserve. So Soft Solutions became the first distributor of Arcserve in 2008. So, we've been in business with Arcserve for quite a long time now, and it has actually become one of Soft Solutions, if not the top disaster recovery as a service vendor. So that's just a bit of a rundown. The agenda. So the agenda for today, we're going to be talking about, what SaaS Backup is, and then we're going to be covering some of the key improvements and benefits of using SaaS Backup, and then some of the competitive differentiators. Then I'll be passing over to Jessa, who's going to be taking you guys through a demo of how to use the SaaS portal, and then finally a tutorial on how to migrate over from Cloud Backup to SaaS Backup. If you guys do have any questions, please type in the questions box. Jessa and I will be monitoring the questions as we go, and we will be answering it towards the end. Okay, awesome. So what is SaaS Backup? Well, SaaS Backup is a comprehensive cloud-to-cloud backup solution that offers comprehensive protection and complete protection of data stored in SaaS applications. So this would be Office 365, Dynamics 365, Salesforce, Google Workspace, and Azure AD. Key things to note here from Cloud Backup, Azure AD, Azure AD, Salesforce, and Dynamics 365 are quite new. So definitely adding that to the mix, and it's a cloud-to-cloud backup, so it does not back up on premise. Okay, so Arcserve have data centers all around the globe. They've got data centers in UK, Denmark, Germany, United States, but the ones that we want to focus on is the one in Australia, more specifically Sydney. So they've got a dedicated facility for backups for Australia and New Zealand located in that Sydney, in Sydney. So all the data center backups, so all the backups that go to the data centers are offsite backups within the Keep It Cloud. So they're not backing up, your Google Drive onto like a Google Cloud or anything like that. It will be completely separate. And it's a vendor neutral backup location. So these data centers are also active. So let's say if one data center were to fail, there would be another one in place that will take over immediately, offering full redundancy. You also get 2+2 copies, so effectively 4, which are located within 2 sites that are around 20-30 Ks from each other. And we'll be touching more upon this later on the presentation, but overall it does give us a robust and fully compliant certified solution. So SaaS vendors also operate on a shared responsibility model. An iceberg would be a really good way of representing this, because generally, we focus on, the application, the hardware, the network, the operating systems. However, we don't really look at what's hidden, which is the protection of the data, the security, how it's accessed, how it's restored. And, this responsibility is effectively with, the SaaS user. So what it comes down to is generally the user responsibility, managing the protection of the data. And this could be like, how we protect and manage the revisions and the changes that come out of the data, how to recover in the event of a problem and disaster, and what kind of security we're putting in the data. So like a key factor in today's world is, ransomware. So ransomware is prone to causing havoc upon customers' data, and more easily than ever before with COVID, BYOD, and work from home coming into play. So this really drives the need of how we can easily access and share that data, especially when we're in remote locations, and how we can do that securely. So that's kind of where that need for SaaS Backup really comes in, and it really provides that strong last line of defense, across multiple applications. So why SaaS Backup? Well, SaaS Backup offers the complete protection of data within Office 365, Dynamics, Azure AD, Salesforce, and Google Workspace. So by adding 3 different SaaS applications such as Salesforce, Dynamics, and Azure AD to the mix, it's really showing that SaaS Backup is going to be scalable. Some of the key benefits would be the fact that it's extremely simple to set up, and it takes less than 5 minutes. Arcserve SaaS Backup offers, a single pane of glass with a multi-tenancy, role-based access control in its new MSP portal, which recently got introduced as of the 29th of July, as sent out in the emails. And it just makes navigation super fast, and it offers, complete control over and protection over your data. I come from a bit of a recruitment background, and I don't really have much technical knowledge. And after using the portal, I found it, very easy and simple to use, and so especially if you guys have, non-technical people using the portal, it will be quite easy for them to kind of operate. You've also got immutable backups using Arcserve's blockchain-based algorithm. So this pretty much offers organizations the ability to retrieve unaltered copies of the data. So let's say if there was a ransomware attack or malware or a malicious user trying to potentially cause harm to the data, immutable backups kind of prevent the malicious user of altering the data, and allows for a much more easier restore process. Especially from your previous and your previous versions of your backup won't be affected. Arcserve's cloud backup is also designed to be scalable, so not only offering 365 and Google Workspace, but also across multiple other SaaS applications as well. And all you need to do is just add a new connector each time you want to add a new backup. Jessa will be covering more of that in the demo, so we'll leave that to her. It's also very secure in a sense where it offers full AES 256 encryption, which is one of the strongest forms of encryption out there, to data that's in transit as well as data that's in rest, as well as a default 30-day retention. We all know that data can be accidentally deleted. I can't imagine how many times I've deleted folders, especially when I'm dealing with large chunks of data. So definitely does come into handy at times. And you also have the ability to, restore data from, terabytes of data all the way from there to granular objects. So over here, this will kind of just give you a bit of an overview on what it kind of covers. So you can see with, Office 365 and Google Workspace, it kind of covers your Gmail, your Google Drive, your Google Docs, and then for Teams, you've got, for your Office 365, you've got Teams, Outlook, you've got SharePoint, Exchange, etc. And now you've kind of added those 3 other applications, Azure AD, Salesforce, and Dynamics into the mix. Just want to let you know, key point to point out is Azure AD is free when you purchase a Office 365 license. Otherwise, it will be charged. So yeah, this is kind of just showing that, it offers world-class coverage for data management capabilities for global and significant workloads. Over here, this will kind of just deep dive a little bit more into what we're actually protecting. So you can see here for Office 365, this is probably one of the most strongest growth areas in this platform. And, Arcserve have definitely seen, a need for a very comprehensive solution, especially with Microsoft developing new features and functions on a daily basis. So groups and teams are definitely a key one here, especially with BYOD and work from home coming into play, offering that full complete protection. With Exchange, you've also got full backups of public folders now. You can also offer backups, or you can also back up online archives as well of your emails. So if you've had end customers already, using Office 365, then you would probably know that they would have online archives they want to back up to. Azure AD, again, free with the Microsoft 365. And then SharePoint is probably one of the biggest ones here, where it offers that full complete protection of your SharePoint sites. And instead of just backing up individual users, what it did before, it backs up all the users, regardless of whether it's ticked or not. And then, OneDrive as well, all versions of OneDrive, etc. So over here, we're just going to be covering a little bit of, what sort of benefits it actually has. So data availability would be a key one, as it offers, full redundancy by having, offsite backups and backups in, the Sydney with the 2 architecture sites. It's also cost effective as well, so it's something that is very cheap. You've also got unlimited storage, that includes archiving. It's very simple as well, with the new MSP portal, extremely simple to navigate your way around. Instant recovery, so it offers extremely fast restore speeds, and always secure as well. So it offers that immutable technology with multi-factor authentication and data encryption. So over here, some more kind of key points over here on what it actually does, key benefits. Key point to kind of note across all the applications is it offers unlimited storage and unlimited retention, up to lifelong. And most other vendors don't really offer that, so it's a very key point to kind of bring across. It also focuses on, it's also GDPR compliant as well. And really good in that sort of aspect and area. I can definitely send you the PowerPoint slides afterwards so you can have a more comprehensive read of it. So for role-based access control, so the platform has a comprehensive role-based access control. So if you were to provide your users and customers with access, that can be effectively managed, where you can actually go down to control the user level access where required. And this is also part of the single sign-on capability the platform has. And you can also leverage your Azure AD to provide the user access as required. So if you are kind of wondering, what each of the roles do, this kind of provides you a good overall screenshot of, what they can do, but what they can't. So Jessa will be covering a little bit more about that on how you can do that with the demo. So you can do that with the platform. So this is just a little bit about how you can see like the data flow of the backup technology that Arcserve are using, and the security and the data center availability. So you can see that backs up all the applications to the Arcserve cloud, and then it sends it off to the data center that's located in Sydney. So key things to know: it's using that 256 encryption. It's replicated 4 times, and it's got that 99.99% uptime. So if you are needing or wanting information, you can definitely access that. So you've always got that data availability there. Okay, awesome. This is a little bit more into the architecture itself. So this is where it kind of gets backed up. So you can see that the data center is a bit of an active solution that uses a 2-site architecture approach with dedicated links to maintain no single point of failure effectively. So that way, like, let's say if any system were to be lost, it wouldn't really cause any sort of impact on the operations, and it will continue to function. You can also add load balancers, as you scale out with no issues with data capacity. So yeah. So over here, some key competitive differentiators. Secure by design. It's got immutable backups, as mentioned before. Preventing alterations by malicious users, as well as encryption at rest and in transit. Delete protect. 30-day retention to salvage any sort of data in case ransomware attacks, or even if you happen to accidentally delete it yourself. Data severity and redundancy. So if you've got 4 different copies of backups in different sites within the same geolocation, so you've always got a copy of your backup there in case one of those sites were to get compromised. Cost effective as well, so you've got unlimited storage and unlimited retention of your backups with the per user pricing. So one of the good things about existing cloud backup users is they essentially get the same pricing as they did with cloud backup with new SaaS backup. However, as you scale up the users, the pricing does significantly get cheaper as well. So that's something to kind of take into mind if you do have other customers that are using the other solutions like Salesforce or Dynamics. It's also got, broad and extensive coverage with, all these other SaaS applications. Extremely quick to set up as well. Jessa's going to show you that tutorial real soon. And you've got the smart search, and that would be kind of shown by Jessa as well. And you've got that tamper-proof cloud infrastructure. So I think that's about it from me. If you guys do have any questions, do let me know in the question box below, and I'll be actively monitoring it. However, now I'm going to be passing it over to Jessa, and Jessa's going to be taking you through some of the key features of the portal, as well as how to actually navigate your way around it. And then finally, kind of just finishing off with the migration process.
Thank you so much, Parthiv, for that very helpful information and for the in-depth explanation of what SaaS Backup is. And thank you so much, our partners, for attending with us today on our webinar. We appreciate your time. So now I will show you how to migrate manually, of course, your users from the cloud backup going to our new portal, which is the SaaS Backup. So as you can see on my screen, in here, of course, it's good to know that the SaaS Backup is available on the MSP portal. It would be much more easier to navigate as well if you manage, of course, from migrating the old one to the new portal. So I'll show you how to untick or unselect users in your cloud backup later after I have done the demo on the SaaS Backup. So let's focus more now with the SaaS Backup portal. So once you are on the SaaS Backup portal, what you can see in here, if it's your first time, it would be empty. So what I've showed you earlier on the presentation as well, I have took the screenshot. So once you are here, of course, you will just need to it will ask you to create a new account. So in creating a new account, you will be prompted for an MSP parent account setup. So MSP parent account setup, please make sure that it would be your account. So your email address and your login ID can be the same. And of course, just input the password and your information as well. So once it has been set, you can see that in here. From here, what you can do, of course, is add the sub account. These sub accounts, these are all your end users from your cloud backup. So in adding sub account, just click add sub account and fill out all the information. So as what I've mentioned, email ID and login ID can be the same. So that would be your end users details. So once you are here, what you can see is you have a manage button on the upper right. Once you click manage, it will be redirected to the Arcserve Arcserve SaaS Backup Portal. So this is the SaaS Backup Portal. From what you can see on the left-hand side, I will navigate to that one individually. But you can see the dashboard, connectors, the job monitor, public links, users, audit log, and RTBF. So from the dashboard, it's just the overview of your backup, of the information. It's like at a glance view of what the information about your connectors, the backup, the recent jobs, and of course the stats. So what you can see in here, I've created 3 connectors. So how do you create connectors? So it will be happening in the connectors area. So from here, it's like the heart of your SaaS backup. Why? Because this is where you can, of course, set up your connector. You can restore, you can configure as well. So I'll quickly show you how to add a connector. For example, we will be adding a Microsoft 365 connector. So make sure to add the connector, you need to sign in as your dedicated Microsoft Service account, which must be a global admin. And of course, please make sure you will be using an incognito mode just to make sure that you have signed into the right account. So once you've signed in, you will be prompted, of course, for your tenant account, username and password. And from there, as what I've showed you earlier as well, you will have to accept the permission. So it's just the normal one, like you need to access your tenant account. So once you have set that one up, you can see the information in here. So from here, you can configure your Microsoft Exchange, your OneDrive, SharePoint, groups, and teams. So once you've configured your Microsoft Exchange, it will pull all the information from your Active Directory. So whatever your group in Active Directory, you should be able to see that in here. So from here, nothing to do. If you want to back up everything, just click OK, and that's it. If you go advanced, you can see what are the data types that will be backed up. So if you, just in case, if you need to untick some of the users because you don't want to get charge of them or you don't want to back them up, so just untick them. So from here, I want everything. So I'll just click OK. And of course, you have public folders list as well. So once you are okay with everything, just hit OK. And then the same setup on OneDrive. So if you want everything to be back up, nothing to do as well. And you can see in here, you can back up all the file versions, which is very good, very handy as well. So just click OK. And of course, SharePoint. Good thing about the SharePoint, of course, you can back up all the sites and you can unselect as well the sites that you don't want to, and it will auto add new sites. So if you hit advanced, you can check in here what are the data types, the library files, list items, metadata in the backup versions as well. It will get all the backup version. And of course, for groups and teams, you can, it will add auto new groups. And of course, if you don't want to back up some of the teams groups, of course, you can deselect them or unselect them. And all the groups and teams types, data types are in here as well. So conversation, calendar, SharePoint files, plans, and channels. So just hit OK if once you're ready. And just to mention as well, it would be very much faster to do the backup as well. If, for instance, you have like 500 users and above, or many users, it would be much easier. For example, you will create a groups on your Active Directory, like from A to K, and then L to Z last name, so that it will be much more easier for you to back up, and it will be faster as well. So just to mention, we have two sessions for backup. So it's it will be happening like 12 hours. So once you added the connector, it will create the full backup, and after that one, after 12 hours, it will capture again another backup, and after 12 hours. So in here, if you just need to manage your connector, if you need to set a snapshot retention, but our retention, of course, is unlimited. And the last thing is if you want to re-authenticate your Microsoft 365 Global Admin account. So that's most likely in how to add and set up the connector. So for example, now we move on to like restoration of like files or emails and stuff like that. So for example, I'll go with our test account. So from here, you can see the users. So this one, because the test one, I just enabled the Exchange. I'll just gonna quickly show you like for this one so that we can see everything. So I've enabled groups and teams, SharePoints, and of course the Exchange and OneDrive. So from here, like for example, you are on particular user. I'll go search maybe a particular file that says Arcserve. So this button, it's if you of course just turn it on if you want to search for the entire subfolder. So you can search for entire tenant and across all snapshots and versions as well. So once you click the search button, it will show you all the Arcserve one. So for example, this particular folder, if I want, so someone from my team, example Parthiv, will ask me, Jessa, can you please share Tony's SaaS demo? to me, and I was like, okay, Parthiv, but can you please let me know if this one is the correct one? So once you click share, it will create a link. So for example, I'll share that one to Parthiv. If you want, of course, to add password, you can do it and set a limit time. So once you are ready, and then just click close and then copy this link and then send it to Parthiv. I'll show you as well later on about public links. So once you've Parthiv check it, okay, Jessa, that's the thing that I want to. Can you please share it or download it and then share it to me? So you can download all the files. And of course, for example, I want to restore it on my own drive as well. If, for example, I've deleted it and I wanted to restore it, you just need to go restore. And then from here, if you want to restore in place or to a new folder. So for instance, you want to restore it to a new folder, just click next. And then it will be restored to a new folder. So once you hit restore, items will be scheduled for restore. So you can check it on the job monitor in here, and then you can see it's in progress already. So job monitor, this is where you can see all the progress of what have you've been just restored, or if it's successful after its restoration, if you encounter any problems. So I'll explain that one further later on. So just go back to the connectors again. So, and if you want to search another file, of course, just the same one. So for example, I'll just need to check a particular version, or just make sure that you turn on the subfolder. So for particular version, you can see it in here. It's like all the snapshots. So it's very good to check as well, especially the versions and when that's been snapshot or the snapshot happened. So from here as well, if you are on the version window, you can check, of course, the versions time. You can restore it from here. You can download and you can share, and of course you can print. So that's very handy. So you can also go to the folder and assign right to be forgotten, just in case, for example, your user wanted to mark very important file or maybe very confidential, and they said please delete it. So from there you can just assign right to be forgotten label, and then you can just put comment, user has been asked me to put this as RTBF, something like that. So that's more particularly of our connectors and how to search and restore, and it would be the same as well for SharePoint and of course for groups and teams. So if you want to, of course, add Google Workspace connector, Salesforce, Dynamics 365, and Azure AD, it would be the same setup. So as what I've mentioned for job monitor, you can see it in here. So it has been successfully restored. So if you want to show all the detail, if you want to see all the details, so of course you can see the reporting, and if you want to download that one as well as CSV file, so you can do it. After job monitors, of course, the public links. This is the link that I've sent to Parthiv. So you can see in here unlimited, but if you want this one to be removed, of course you can do that one. So once you have public link, if you want to delete this one and it will no longer be available to share, so yep, from here you can do that one. And if you want to go to the folder location and then you share again. So this is the users that I've mentioned earlier as well, and Parthiv have shown in our presentation. So from here, of course, you can add particular user if you have like service desk, or if you have one engineer, and you can select the role based on what particular setup that you need to, or that they need to that they need to have access to. So what we can do is we can share after this demo, and we can share you, of course, this demo link as well, and we can share you the files that Parthiv has presented with all the role-based access control, and then you will be able to have like a reference. For audit log, this is everything that has been done. You've done, of course, very helpful information like the history and stuff. If you've encountered any issues and need to raise to support like a ticket, and then they'll ask you for like an information of what happened on that particular time, of course, you can grab it from here. And right to be forgotten, this is the one that if you want to have the file to be forgotten, you don't want it, and of course you can do it from here. So that's basically what our SaaS Backup Portal looks like. It's very easy to navigate and very easy to set up as well. And from here, we would suggest maybe give it a month or two. So if you're already comfortable and you're ready to remove all the backup and unselect all the users in your old cloud backup portal. So from here, just go to cloud backup, and then from your accounts, go to, of course, all the accounts that you have. For example, just going down in here, and then just select all the users from this portal. And of course, if you don't want them and if you don't want to get billed, just untick all the users, so you don't get double billed because you've been billed in cloud backup and then you've been billed to the SaaS backup. So once everything has been set up in SaaS backup, make sure to untick them in here so that you won't get billed. And once you are ready, you can of course delete your cloud backup from here. And just to mention to you guys that you can still, of course, access all the backup in cloud backup until the end of this year. So that would be 31st of December. And yep, that would be it for our demo for migrating the cloud backup to our new portal, which is the SaaS Backup. And again, thank you everyone for all your time attending with our webinar. And unfortunately, we don't have like enough time for the questions and answers, but of course, Parthiv and I would be very happy to assist you guys. Our contact details is parthiv@softsol.co.nz, and of course mine is jessa@softsol.co.nz. So anything, any questions, if you want to do like a one-on-one session as well, if you want us to check all your setup, I will be very happy to assist. Parthiv will be very happy to assist. And yep, that would be it. And thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And yeah, have a good day. See ya. Bye.